some days you're gonna win. He says some days you're gonna lose. I tell you, I got news for you. You're losing all the time, you never win. No, if you believe that's how it's gonna be, I better put you down. Get up, you take your book, you come down on the ground. You gotta save me now. You better turn around. And I looked around, I was heading down. Oh, somebody throw me down the line. This is some days you gotta give. This is some days you gotta take. That's the way it's gotta be. Roll it over and you will see. The city streets are full of people going nowhere making time. To change from night to day is really only out just along the line. Can't you see the sign? When I looked around, I was heading down. Oh, somebody throw me down.
Good morning, my friends. 9:03, 19th day of August. It's a Tuesday. More area school districts starting their school year off today. Hope the school year starts off on the best note for you if you're getting back in today, or if you guys have been in for a couple of days now, your kiddos have been. Hope the transition's been smooth. We got a good one for you guys today. We got a busy show. Shannon joins us in about 20 minutes or so, and we're going to be joined by the Home Builders Remodelers of the Metro East Association, and we're going to get the latest from them in the industry. Then at 10:10, we're going to be joined by Tija and Nana's Café. They're a new restaurant, and we're going to get the latest from Nana's Café and learn about the business and ways that we can go in and have some good food. Then at 10:35, film critic Lynn Venhaus. She's an official Rotten Tomatoes Tomatometer Critic. You know, where it has the check mark and the percentage. Breaks down the best movies of summer 2025. I'm kind of bummed. I'm going to be honest with you. I missed the Naked Gun remake, or the Naked Gun movie this year. I guess it's not a remake. It's just a new one, and I'm kind of bummed about that. So I'll ask her about that one, and she'll preview some of the fall films coming down the pipeline, hitting all the theaters and streaming platforms. So we got a full one in the next 2 hours, but here's what you need to know now. Make sure you download that RiverBender.com app today. We'll take you right to Jerseyville first. Quentin A. McKeevers is 37 years of age, a Jerseyville resident with a lengthy criminal record, has been charged with multiple felonies after allegedly burglarizing Westlake Country Club on the 6th of August. Authorities are saying that McEvers unlawfully entered the club, stole a 2021 Yamaha golf cart, and was armed with a stun gun while accompanied by his 5-year-old son. The charges include unlawful possession of a stolen vehicle, unlawful possession of weapon by a felon, and burglary without causing damage. Despite a petition to deny his pretrial release due to the circumstances and his criminal history that does date back to 2004, McEvers was granted pretrial release with strict conditions, including no contact with the club and surrendering all firearms. He remains in custody on separate charges involving trespassing and violation releases, all charges pending in court. Also in regional news, Kevin Johnson, owner of Artisan Stone Interiors in Highland, was airlifted to Barnes Hospital in St. Louis on the 19th, just a few days ago, after sustaining skull fractures and a brain bleed in a suspected hit-and-run while test riding his rebuilt e-bike. Johnson, now under a strict 10-pound lifting restriction, cannot perform the physical work that's required of his flooring business, facing mounting medical bills and financial hardship. He does not recall the crash, but notes severe damage to his e-bike suggests a vehicle collision. Johnson is recovering at Barnes Hospital and started a GoFundMe campaign to cover medical expenses and to help keep his business afloat. He urges the community to support his aid in healing and recovery. You can see that link on the RiverBender.com article, RiverBender.com/news. Rosetta Brown, currently serving as Alton's alderwoman for the 4th Ward, has announced her candidacy for Illinois State Representative in District 111. Brown aims to unify the district, which includes Alton, East Alton, Godfrey, Bethalto, and Wood River, along with other communities, by promoting fairness and economic revitalization. Her platform focuses on job growth, sustainability, safe neighborhoods, public parks, and expanding educational and job opportunities for youth and underserved communities. Brown also emphasizes her commitment to veterans and seniors, expressing gratitude for support during her campaign. She plans to use her state-level role to advocate for beneficial legislation and block harmful measures. Her campaign outreach is centered around her new Facebook page. It's linked on the RiverBender.com news article. Also in the news today, the 72nd Annual Alton Gold Medal Championship did take place this past weekend at Cloverleaf Golf Course, drawing nearly 80 competitors from the Riverbend community. Craig Dixon of Godfrey successfully defended his title as the Alton City Champion with a thrilling sudden death playoff against fellow Godfrey resident Michael Holtz. Despite a challenging start, Dixon's clutch putting and calm demeanor helped him finish 4 under par and sink a decisive 6-foot putt on the final hole. Other division winners include Brian Gebbin, Jared Hogan, Ryan Jenkins, and Kevin Cuddies. Dixon will be honored at the upcoming Alton Golf Hall of Fame ceremony in October. Finally in the news today, legislation sponsored by State Senator Erica Harris and State Representative Amy Ellick modernized America's Central Port District. It's been signed into law as of August the 19th. It's called House Bill 2139, updates decades-old provisions to enhance flexibility, accountability, and operational efficiency at one of Illinois' key economic hubs. The law allows the Port District to secure low-interest financing to help aid critical infrastructure, align its financial definitions with state codes, strengthen fiscal oversight by enforcing compliance with the Public Funds Investment Act, and improve audit timelines. These charges ensure the port remains competitive, transparent, and financially responsible for years to come. We had a great conversation with Mary Lamy of the Central Port District, and if you have a chance to check that one out, I highly encourage you at RiverBender.com/daily show. Happened a few months ago, but really some good information in there. Let's take a look at weather on this Tuesday morning. It's 83 degrees, but it feels like 95 out there already. Times of clouds and sun with a thunderstorm this morning. It will be very humid. And tonight, a thunderstorm in spots this evening all the way through the night. Otherwise, it will be partly cloudy, and that humidity will stay with us. That heat advisory was extended, and it was extended early this morning at 1:42 a.m. until 8 p.m. tonight, where heat index values will be up to 106 in portions of our coverage area. Please be advised that the hot temperatures and high humidity may cause heat-related illnesses and heat stroke. Don't go outside if you don't have to today. Air quality right now is looking pretty good. Overall, it's at 60, which is moderate, but as for all those pollen indexes like grass mold and ragweed, they're all in that low category, so nothing really to report there. Today, temperatures reach 90 degrees and drop down to 68 overnight as we head into Wednesday. On Wednesday, we start to see the temperatures and weather break for us, thankfully. A high of 86 on Wednesday, a low of 63. That'll feel like 40. Everything's clear and cool on Wednesday night. Wednesday afternoon, just partly sunny skies. On Thursday, cloudy skies, a high of 81, a low of 62 degrees. And then on Friday, partly sunny skies, a high of 85, a low of 61. And on Saturday, almost a spitting image of Friday, a high of 86 degrees, a low of 62 with partly sunny skies as we head into Sunday. That's a look at the next 5 days. Man, we're getting through this heat wave pretty good. We're almost there. And then on Monday, I don't know if you guys have seen the extended forecast. We're talking temperatures like high 70s here. So life's looking good. We got a couple of more days. You know, you can stay up to date in real time all the time by going to RiverBender.com/weather or by downloading the RiverBender.com app today, and we'll bring you all those weather alerts, breaking news notifications, and all those things that are really pertinent for you. The time is 9:12 on this Tuesday morning. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back with something, and then we'll talk to Shannon right around 9:30. Hope you're having a good Tuesday morning. Quick break. Look at downtown Alton. We'll come back with more.
Your shoes off, kick 'em off, get you some of this slow down fast. I'll take you up and down these hollers and hills. Let me show you how. Country
Discover Del Mar Public House, located in Godfrey's historic Clifton Schoolhouse. Enjoy bold flavors like homemade falafel, fish and chips, and rotating pasta favorites. Relax with local beers, half-price wine bottles, and summer poutine nights. The only thing missing is you. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Del Mar Public House, where great food, drinks, and friends come together. DelMarPublicHouse.com.
When you need a project done right, on budget, and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Looking for the best.
Hurt so good. Come on, baby, make it hurt so good.
Welcome back. Alrighty, we got a couple of minutes before Shannon joins us. You know, yesterday I got to talk to IDOT District 8 Operations Engineer Joe Monroe, and really just a great conversation. We talked about a ton. It was ranging from winter employment opportunities. Some of those are full-time temps that can turn into full-time throughout the year, and really just could be some really great careers. So the other part of that conversation, though, which is the more important one. So I've been on, obviously I have to be on Facebook with the job because you got to stay current. Man, the questions that are being asked about West Del Mar right now, why is it being done? What is happening? It's not that big of a deal. I get people are upset, but I just feel like everyone's kind of just finding something to complain about because it's the end of summer and, we're here now. But, really, it wasn't bad. I drove it this morning. I thought it was fine. Yeah, it was a little dusty. But, really, whenever Joe came in and explained the work that was being done, it all made sense. It was going to have to be done either now or later, so why don't you do it now while you have the perfect timing to do it, and you can keep the schedule moving forward. So I'm going to play this conversation now. I hope it helps clear up some confusion. But it's just amazing to me. It's truly amazing to me that so many times, we see it all the time, folks will share a St. Louis media story from Fox 2, you name it, from the TV companies, even some of the local the regional magazines over there. We'll cover a story and no one that's actually pertinent, that has full details and really important information. No one shares it until the article comes out and it's just a bunch of complaints. It's just amazing to me. It really is how it just as a community, it seems like half the time we'll share something that St. Louis media does. They cover a story that's happened a year ago. It's halfway true. It doesn't have all the information in it. Like the sinkhole thing. We had the mayor on a couple of months ago and he told us everything that the media told you in that article, and it just baffles my mind. Anyway, here's the conversation with Joe Monroe. I hope it clears some stuff up for you folks because, I don't know, I just feel like sometimes, criticism's needed, but I don't feel like this one is. So take a look. Maybe I'm wrong. You let me know after this.
Don't know how it feels to hurt. Oh, I ain't been
1040. Welcome back. Joe Monroe in the studio, District 8 Operations Engineer. And Joe, there's a lot to talk about. We're only it's weird. It's 100 degrees outside, and we're getting ready to talk about the winter highway maintenance positions that are open, which are vast, but there's also a lot of great opportunity there, too. And we're only a couple of months away before we start looking to see if we're getting ice on the roads.
Yeah, it's weird. We have to be 3 to 6 months ahead.
Yeah.
So the women and men that are out on the roadside, they're kind of in the moment, maybe a week or two ahead. As you progress into the office, we're trying to look 3 to 6 months out to arm them with the resources, in this case, the staffing that they need to be successful. So we do have ample opportunities. We have 2 different types of jobs. There's what we call our full-time temporary, which would be 40 hours a week. Every week while you're hired, typically it's 5 to 6 months.
Oh, wow.
And then you do have the opportunity through the union contract that if you're successful and obtain all the needed licensing and are in good standing, meaning you've satisfactorily completed all the tasks that you're assigned, you show that you're competent at operating the equipment, you do have the opportunity to become full-time permanent.
Wow.
So that, there are opportunities there for everyone. There's also the on-call if you're not sure it's for you or it's something you've wanted to try, but hey, I'm not sure that, typically we'll get someone that might be like a landscaper or, they're a concrete truck driver.
For sure.
Just to try to see if it matches for their slow season. That's an on-call. Again, we will still train you. You'll get an opportunity to see if it's something that you would like, something that matches your skill set. Everybody's, opportunity. You don't want to go to work if it's a miserable every day. So we do have options. All 10 counties that we have maintenance facilities have openings.
Wow.
And all of them have multiple openings.
Wow.
Basically it's on a non-snow and ice day, you'd be filling potholes, maybe flagging an operation, hauling material. Typically in the winter, we'll try to cut back some of the trees. We got to worry about the Indiana bat in this area. And then obviously ditch, things you see, the folks in the orange trucks do regularly. This time of year is more patching because the asphalt's more prevalent and you don't have to worry about it cooling off as much with our open trucks.
Right.
So it is seasonal, but for us, all 10 counties have both. It's you have to have a CDL, non-restrictive of air brakes. There's some differences between the emergency on-call and the full-time temporary. Full-time temporary, you have to start with a B class with an NRX endorsement, non-restrictive air brakes. There's a little more latitude with the on-call. Not much, but there are some differences, but I don't want to throw out too much and confuse anyone. I think you'll be happy to link something for us.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So anyone that's interested, we can, get them to come to your website and check out the advertisers and see what we have from IDOT and try to help out.
Oh, for sure. And now when it comes into this, I was glad that you kind of talked about some of the other responsibilities because I know for maybe the general public, we think of that as just, when the snow's hitting, that's whenever you guys are out. But it's a nonstop job, I'm sure, for the entire winter season.
Oh, yeah, we'll actually be mowing into December.
No kidding. I didn't realize that.
Well, it's kind of one of the things that we get beat up a lot about. So we try to partner with, the folks that are concerned with the habitat. So, we're actually in a consortium to try to protect for the rusty patch bumblebee. There's a moth that I can't remember the name of, and then the monarch butterfly. So we actually control when we mow, and we actually have a period between actually now and the end of September where we don't mow beyond a certain area on our roadway.
Interesting.
To provide habitat because that's when they're actually migrating through the Illinois area. So we want to make sure that they have not only food, but they have coverage, that they aren't. So you'll see us mowing close to the road, and that's actually to try to get them shoved away.
Gotcha.
So we're not smashing them on the windshields. But, it's one of those, everybody wants the lawns to look like it's a golf course, but we're also trying to protect, the animals and, in this case, particularly in this area, the rusty patch bumblebee and the monarch butterfly.
You got the state insect right there. You got to protect it. Well, and honestly, it makes sense. I'm not being funny, but those things are very important. And sometimes people get frustrated, I'm sure, and your office gets the phone call, and it's, but there's also a lot of different procedures that are in place that you guys have to follow and abide by.
Well, and you try to, unfortunately, you try to make everyone happy, and typically you make no one happy.
That's right.
But we try to be respectful of everyone, and in this case, the animals are very important.
What were you saying about the Indiana bat?
Well, they're actually protected species.
Wow, okay.
So, we don't fell trees certain times of the year. Now, you can do it if it's an emergency, and you can obviously have an arborist or someone that's certified to tell you, hey, this tree doesn't have, a bat nest in it. But, it's no different. There's a rattlesnake. There's a less turn. There are several things in this area that, when I first broke in, a quick funny story, along 255 at New Pogue Road, there's actually chorus frogs there. The first job that I had was actually laying out the fence to protect the chorus frogs. So if you drive along there and see a fenced-in area, it's just a fenced-in area, that's actually one of the few locations in the immediate area that has a chorus frog. So we actually had to protect it. So we do that on lots of projects, and that's often a source of frustration because that's a one-off, and they're like, well, why would you do that? I'm like, well, this is what we needed to do to be able to build that project. Yeah. We have to look out. I mean, there are cultural, there are archaeological, historical items that we check through for every project, and that was one that popped up.
Well, and you got it all in Illinois, too, when it comes to all the different things you have to really peek through and look through, like the archaeological and all of that important thing.
Well, and look at all the rivers and streams that we have. I mean, what they call zero rise or no rise, depending upon where you're at. That's a big thing for us. So any type of drainage work, for the Joe Page Bridge that we're trying to replace, trying to site that, that's a big deal, making sure that we don't change where any flooding would occur. So we actually have to get certification from another entity to say, yes, we're not prompting a rise up or downstream, putting that structure over the Illinois River.
That's really fascinating. And before we move on, because I wanted to talk about some projects, let's talk about these jobs that are available, because they do pay pretty well, don't they?
They pay very well. The highway maintainers.
Better be careful, John. I don't have my CDL. Damn.
Well, we do help.
Do you really?
We can't give the test, but because we want, it's a win for us. We're the state of Illinois, so even if you wouldn't come to work for us, let's say you came to us with a BCDL, we can't give you the test, but we can work you through the paces. Yeah. We do have, we partner to try to increase the role of CDL. Before you had to have the classes. So now you have to have classes to be able to get the A. But there's some folks with the military background and some other opportunities that are grandfathered in. So we will try to help, if it's a match and something you really like, we help facilitate that. Because if you're a good truck driver, whether you're a good truck driver for IDOT or you're a good operator for IDOT, if you're a good operator that goes to work in the state of Illinois, it's a win for the state and for its residents. So we try to look at it, typically you live in Illinois if you come to work for us. And so we, it's a win for the community. It's a win for the economy. And it's a win, obviously, then for the region. So in District 8, if the entire district's successful, it's a win for the department as well. So we look at it kind of in a big picture point of view.
I like that. And now, going into it, can we talk real quick just about some of the positions available before we take that break?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. What are some of them that we can talk about right now?
Well, for the closest one would from our studio here would be at the Wood River Yard. So we have multiple locations. That's right behind the airport.
Interesting.
So we have multiple, both of the on-call and the full-time temporary. They are numerous, but they pay essentially 80% of the scale.
Wow.
So if you look at the highway maintainer, just figure 80% of the scale. The hourly is a little bit less, but still it's up there, and it's all in here without throwing around numbers because it all depends exactly which one you want to pick up, but they're well paid.
Wow.
They're very good jobs. They're obviously they give you a pathway to a full-time permanent position.
And a rewarding career too. Absolutely.
There are benefits included with the full-time temporary. You get some time off, you get some an opportunity, like I said, to look to full time. They actually are covered by the Teamsters. So if you worked at the Wood River Yard, actually the local 525 is just down Broadway from here. So we partner with the unions in the area and try to develop a workforce for the people of the state of Illinois.
And what's the best way to get all this information? Is it to go to the website for employment opportunities?
Actually, I appreciate you asked that. For all the opportunities, you can just Google work for the state of Illinois.
Gotcha.
And that will give you everything. So we didn't touch on like the jobs of the ferries. That isn't in this.
Okay.
But any job. So if there's
the ferry jobs pay very well.
Absolutely. But you also just think in the Alton area, you have mental health.
Yep.
So you would have access to that. There's DCFS in the area. DNR is not far away with Pierre Marquette. Mm-hmm. So there are a lot of opportunities with the state of Illinois. While I'm here trying to pitch DOT, if we're not what makes you happy, working for the state is a rewarding career. I have over 30 years. Mm-hmm. It's been good to me and to my family. So if you were interested in becoming a team member, obviously we'd prefer you work for IDOT. But if there's something else out there, getting you on board and trying to keep good people in the state is what we're trying to do.
Whether you're not looking for that full-time, temporary, full-time, on-call position, there's so many more. We'll link them all in that RiverBender.com article. We're going to take a quick break, come back and talk with Joe a little bit more about some of the different road construction projects, if I could speak today, are going on throughout the 618 and all that important stuff. So you stay there. We'll be here in the studio. It's a hot one out there, and we'll be back with more.
Oh no, another bad headache?
Yeah.
Maybe it's time to see your doctor.
OSF Healthcare can handle all of your family's primary care needs, including diagnosing health issues or referring you to a specialist. Schedule an appointment today.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Munganast Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Munganast Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Munganast Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Talk too loud. How do you like me now?
Back with Joe, IDOT District 8 Operations Engineer, and really great to have you in studio. There's a ton of projects you guys are working on, too, all across. And that's something I think that's really important for the listening audience to understand is, perspective to their town and respective to it. There is maybe a project going on, but you guys have a whole gauntlet that you guys are managing, and I'm sure you have a great team that's able to make sure that those get across the finish line.
Oh, absolutely. Actually, first call I got today was actually to coordinate something with MoDOT. So we don't even look at it just in our 11 counties. We look at it from a region. So, like, for example, the 255 project that was closed that we reopened on June 14th, we opened it early. We kind of had an idea because there was an incentive to get it open early. But we actually had to coordinate with MoDOT because we couldn't have work going on 55 over on the Missouri side because that was a truck detour.
Gotcha.
So when you look at it from the big picture, so we actually parse it out. Big picture, both states get together. So for example, the Clark Bridge, that's a border bridge. So the team from Missouri and the team from Illinois will actually get together and walk the bridge together. Wow. Because when we program something to get an upgrade, it's 50-50 split. It may be our bridge, so it's actually a bridge that IDOT maintains day to day. We would plow into West Alton for example, in the winter.
Gotcha.
But so we handle the day-to-day maintenance, but a major project is a 50-50 split. So when you think of it that way, we look at it from a regional perspective, then we look at it from a district perspective, then we look at it from neighborhoods probably a little too small right off the bat. We get so like the 255, what impacts 64, 55.
Gotcha.
And then we go down to the neighborhood. So like what's going on today on Delmar.
Right.
That's a kind of a Alton Godfrey, very timely for us here in the 618. Why are we doing that? If you want me to jump into that.
Yeah, please, let's go ahead.
So everyone knows that we're working towards those double roundabouts. Originally, we had a plan to close it to get in and get out, and the community was very vocal that, hey, we want to keep this open. So in response to that, we're going to be able to keep that open, and we're doing it in phases. It'll be a longer project that way, and because of the length of that project, we became concerned about the condition of Delmar between essentially Evangelical and State Street.
Makes sense.
And we didn't want to have a situation where we had to go in and do repairs while there's work when people are trying to, depending upon the different phases of the double roundabout, you'll see more traffic on that road.
100%.
Well, if we went in and did work, we're going to look pretty foolish. So we're trying to thread the needle. And what's a challenge about that is there's utility adjustments that we really don't control. The various utilities have to go in and make adjustments. And while we kind of give them big picture, the actual individual utilities go in. Barton's been there doing a whole lot of work. Spectrum's there today. They're water line and some drainage. So they have to coordinate, in this case, mostly with the Village of Godfrey. So there's approvals and kind of a flow and feng shui, for lack of a better word, that has to go on. Well, we saw an opportunity where we can get in and get out before the closure on Pierce Lane happens.
Gotcha.
So that there'll be some changes in traffic with the school's back in session. So we're going to go out. I know initially people are going to be a little bit upset because it's going to appear that it's just an oil and chip. It's not. It's going to have a fog seal. It's going to go over. It's going to seal everything up. Yeah. It's just a different way of making an asphalt, and it's much quicker. It's going to be much more cost effective because there will be so much work and traffic on it. Once the roundabouts are in, then it'll compete real well for a more formal repair. There'll be some drainage upgrades. There'll be other stuff that will be needed on Delmar that we couldn't really get in before the roundabouts.
Right, that makes sense.
Well, you have to have you have to make sure that the roundabouts are in, that they're functioning, and then everybody gets used to them. So to get there will be a bit of a challenge, but I think 8 to 10 weeks after the roundabouts are in, I think the community is going to be very happy with them.
Well, I've been a fan of them. I really have. I think that it's needed, and I think change is hard, and change always takes time, and especially when you're navigating American Water, Ameren, Charter, AT&T, you name it. There's all these different utilities, and I'm sure that are occupying some type of that space that you got to manage, and also the infrastructure, because like you said, if you weren't on top of this and you miss your ballpark, well, then all of a sudden you're going to get a lot more phone calls in a couple of months whenever you have to do the same thing you were trying to do now.
Well, and it would be under duress.
Right.
You couldn't plan
10
for
times
it.
more.
So, we're trying to be good neighbors. Mm-hmm. That's why if you the first thing that we're doing is trying to make adjustments to limit the impacts to Evangelical Church and the school. When we went to the stakeholder meeting, that was something that was important. So if they'll actually be doing a lot of the work there in front of the school when school's not in session. That's cool. So we have to actually, to allow that to happen, material procurement is going to be big. Having all the needed material. So whoever's the respective low bidder, whenever they get the project, we execute the contract, their job's going to be to make sure that they're obtaining the necessary materials to be ready to go. There's some pre-work that they need to do, but they've got to be ready to hit the ground because there's such a small window when they're not in school.
Well, what I think is interesting too is, everyone that works, whether from all the top to down, they all live in the area. So it's one of those, you ever get times where you're like, someone forgets that you're the district operations engineer, and you go, man, I'm so tired of this project. And you're like, trust me, I'm driving the same road you are. It's all about the timing of this. And honestly, it's a needed improvement really for the area.
Well, it was something the community wanted years ago, and we studied it, and this appeared to be the best solution. We have something similar down at 15815. We have double roundabouts right there. This one will have some enhancement. It'll actually, so if you were traveling from Homer Adams and trying to get to Pierce Lane, they actually are incorporating a bypass lane. So it's something that they did in Indiana with great success, and I think they ended up putting it in Colorado as well since we started studying this. So that will actually be able to balance the traffic. So the ideal design for a roundabout kind of balances the traffic as much as possible, so then you actually get the gaps and everybody's able to cycle. Makes sense. Adding that bypass lane kind of takes that PM peak out of it when it would back up down to like Mid-Illinois Jets in that area.
That makes sense.
So we're able to pull that traffic where all the subdivisions, Rolling Hills Golf Course, where the new, and we knew this was coming online, so some of the parking for the new bike trail that will connect Glazebrook Park to La Vista. So looking ahead, trying to figure out where our traffic vectors will be, that's why that came to fruition. So we're trying to be in front of some of the development that Godfrey's got coming on board. They want to extend Lars Hoffman, so that will be a connection. So when you look, right now it may look like, well, why would they do this? Well, we're taking a 20-25 year view, trying to be in front of it. So when hopefully Godfrey continues to grow and is a great place to raise family, that improvement's already there. We don't have to disrupt folks that are coming to community or any development that the elected officials can attract to this area.
100%. And now, when do you expect the road work on Delmar to be completed for now?
We hope to have it done in 2 weeks.
Really interesting.
But we already talked about the weather. There are temperature and humidity, and obviously rain. So I hate to throw a
number out there.
because
just a couple of weeks.
It shouldn't be it's not a long run. It's a contractor that we have a history with. Obviously, it's a firm that should be able to get in and get out. But there's high heat today, rain tomorrow. We're expecting some humidity on Wednesday before it actually cools out. The weekend looks great.
Oh man, the next 5 are going to be great after Thursday, man.
But we got to get there with all those changes. That's why I'm a little bit hesitant. But to be transparent and try to give an answer, that's the best answer that I can give you. At 10:30 today.
Oh, absolutely. Well, thank you for that. And now, just a couple of the other ones. I know that on 143, there's some work being done. What's going on over there?
That's a full resurfacing. That's something that was an area of large complaints. It's used by the trash trucks a lot, so it takes a beating. Obviously, there's a big connection from Edwardsville coming to 255. So that's a roadway that hopefully will be done here shortly. We're hoping by the end of September. I hate, again, throwing in.
Right.
But, I don't want to be disingenuous and not give a reasonable date. Just don't, if it's a few days, understand that that's afloat. But, they're making great progress. I was on it last week. It rides much better. It's going to be a great improvement. So, it's much needed.
You're right, though, man. Those trash trucks, no one realizes the amount of beating that those roads take because you have so much pressure and weight on them all the time. And it does. I mean, it's something that's needed. And when it's over with, I'm sure everyone's going to go, man, I'm glad this road's fixed now,
Absolutely. I mean, that's a big subdivision, Kendall Hill right
Huge
there.
One,
and then, there's obviously some development going on through there. There's another subdivision there at Mora Road. So I mean, it's an area that's seeing some growth. So we want to be proactive and get in front of it as well before it wasn't going to last another winter without some significant work from the men and women out of the Wood River Yard, and they have other places that now we can have them do some other work.
Right on. And now 111 and 270, where are we at in that project?
That one's moving along. We're okay, but the weather has hit us a little bit, and there is a little bit of coordination. So Amazon's actually adding to their facility. Oh. And so they have an improvement to their entryway. So we're trying to coordinate that. We still think we're on track for the end of the year, but that one, because of the coordination, we don't want to see a situation where Amazon's ripping up our work, and we certainly don't want to be ripping up theirs because that's bad for the taxpayer.
Right.
So we're trying to coordinate that work. That would be the float that we'd be a little concerned with. But obviously, if Amazon's adding on, that's jobs to the area. That's a quicker response from Amazon for everyone getting their packages.
Right.
So we want to work well with them. So we still think we're on target for the end of the year, but that's the one thing that's hanging out there that gives us just a little bit of pause. But it's a good pause because obviously they have a pretty good footprint on our side of the river.
Right.
And so if they're adding on, they like the workforce that we're able to provide, and obviously they like our transportation infrastructure. They don't locate if we don't have a good workforce and you don't have a good transportation system. That's not something Amazon does. So the fact that they're adding, that's really good news for the region.
I invited Jeff Bezos to my wedding just in case he sends money. I'm just going to be honest. But a couple more projects I wanted to know about. Route 3 or Illinois 3, how's that doing?
They were working this weekend. I was actually traveling with the family.
Were you?
They did a great job on the patching, so it's going to be extensive. That's same thing. There's a ethanol farm, and then obviously a lot of other just heavy truck traffic along that corridor. So all the patching will be in concrete. It will get overlaid at the end, but right now we're trying to get the patching done. Again, same thing. We want to get as much done so the roadway doesn't require as much attention through the winter. I realize it's down to one lane in places, and it is slowing down traffic, but that roadway has been on our list for quite some time. And if it wasn't for the Rebuild Illinois, enhancement, that project's so expensive that it was going to have to be done piecemeal, and to get it all done in one big area like that is really a win. You got an economy of scale, you got a better bid, and you're only disrupting traffic one time. So that's a big win for the region.
Absolutely. And then that final project on Illinois 100, you just real quick if you could.
It's a bridge improvement. That actually should be complete again by the end of the year. It's a decent sized project, but it's one of those, we inspect bridges usually every 2 years. Mm-hmm. Some bridges are a little more frequent depending upon how they were constructed, or if there's something that we see that we don't like, and we want to monitor. That's one of those proactive jobs we saw. There were some needed improvements, so we got in front of that. And the River Road's a big connection. Excuse me. Obviously, for Grafton and Calhoun County, there's a big contingent that comes down, whether it's over the ferry or through Joe Page Bridge, and drops down and use the Clark Bridge to swing around. Surprisingly, our demographics show a lot of people work at the Boeing missile plant.
Wow.
So that's a big deal. We actually will adjust our ferry schedule. There's a lot of folks. There's a kind of an agronomy area that actually will swing over into St. Charles County. So
9:44. Sorry, welcome back. I just wanted to bring you that conversation again. Like, I've seen so many Facebook comments and posts about the road work being done, and I figured let's get to that second half of the interview, get some information out there for our friends in Godfrey and Alton and Jerseyville, the folks that are driving West Elmar, and take care of you. I hope you got some information out of that. Hey, coming up in a couple of minutes, actually about a minute and a half, we're going to be talking to Shannon Stelling, Home Builders Remodelers of the Metro East Association. They're great, and really just great insights on the trade industries and the different projects that are happening around the Riverbend. We're going to take a quick pause here, thank some sponsors, and we'll come back with the HBR right after this one.
Oh no, another bad headache?
Yeah.
Maybe it's time to see your doctor.
OSF Healthcare can handle all of your family's primary care needs, including diagnosing health issues or referring you to a specialist. Schedule an appointment today.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Munganast Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Munganast Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Munganast Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting, and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today. You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Welcome back. 9:47. A little bit of change. Shannon on the phone. How are we doing today, Shannon?
Good morning, TJ. Doing great.
Well, and honestly, it's always great to talk with you, especially whenever it revolves around the trade industries, all the great incentives and programs you guys have at the Home Builders, but also just to catch up on how everything's looking for the industry. The summer months, we got maybe one or two more left, and then we're back to fall weather. How's everything looking?
You know, the interest rates have come down a little bit, and we're hoping that they're going to come down even more in the next 2 to 4 months. It sounds like the feds are going to reduce them, and that's going to be a good thing for home buyers. And, you know, interesting enough, there are great programs out there right now, even with the interest rates at anywhere from, for a VA, around 5.2 to 6.5, 6.7% on rates on a new home. There are builders that have buy down programs where you can buy down a couple of points of interest rates. There are finance companies and mortgage companies, part of the HBR, that have some great incentives and programs. So there are options for people still out there.
Well, and that's really good to know, too, because I think right now so many people are nervous about, you know, because I feel like a lot of people want to find that next home, but when they put it on the market, they're like, man, our house is going to be gone in 5 days, and then we got to find a place to move, and are we going to qualify? What's that interest rate looking like? And that could be a real big decision maker for so many families.
It is. You're absolutely right. But the other thing that's trending right now is it's starting to become more of a buyer's market again, and it's taking a little bit longer for homes to sell. So that's a positive negative, right? Mm-hmm. We don't want homes sitting on the markets too long, but to give those homeowners, you know, that are in that existing home a little bit more time to get it all figured out when they start to sell their home has been a positive right now. So they're not selling in 3 days anymore. It's more like, you know, 2 to 4 weeks in some areas. So there's some options out there for people, and remodeling still is on the rise. And, you know, that ties right into workforce development. Our remodelers are so busy and backed up, and we had some pretty bad storms in the area this year, and that's pushed the envelope. And I just, again, want to remind consumers, when you want to get work done on your home, you know, whether you call the HBR for a reference or you're doing it on your own, you know, you're reaching out to people on your own, you've got to remember to be patient. It's not like it used to be where you could call and get somebody there in 5 days. You're gonna wait a little bit, you know. They're backed up, and they're doing the best they can to get everybody's work done as quickly as possible. But that's why we need more people in the trades. There's just not enough people to get the work done these days.
Well, and honestly, that's what surprised me, is because you're right. Number one, people are pretty impatient lately. And, you know, and I understand we all have that thing that's just pressing and we got to get it done. But you're right. I mean, these folks are people, and they aren't machines and robots. They can only do so much in a day. But, you know, one thing, though, I hope parents are having conversations with their sons and daughters about this, saying, hey, look how long it took for this project to be done. Why aren't you looking into this? They need help.
Well, and it's, you know, that movement that we started talking about, you and I, on this program about 3 years ago, CJ, that movement has started, that pendulum has started to swing. parents are taking note that, you know what, maybe college isn't the best thing for my kiddo. And maybe I don't want to go $100,000 in debt, or my kids go $100,000 in debt. So we are seeing an uptick in people showing interest in the trades, but it's still not enough. We need more. And there are things being done and looked at the federal level. We're also working on some state initiatives to continue to promote and push trades and offer enticements and incentives to people to go into those. Because, again, the median age in the state of Illinois in the trades industry is 56 right now.
Wow.
Do the math on that.
Wow.
Where we could lose half of our workforce in the next 4 to 6 years. And where's that going to leave us? You know, we're waiting now 2 months for a project. You'll be waiting a year for a project or more.
Well, you're right. And honestly, it's one of those things where I just hope more and more families start to have that conversation, because, you would make Dave Ramsey very happy if you didn't take $100,000 out to go to college. I can tell you that.
Exactly.
you know.
Well, and there's so many, CJ, there's so many options.
Yeah.
There's options with tech schools. There's options with the unions where you can come out of high school, go directly into one of the unions out there and go into their apprentice program and work, get paid while you're being trained, right? Yeah. So the Carpenters Union, you go to work for them, and then they put you through the apprentice program while you're working for somebody else. So it's not like you have to go to school full time and not have a job to have money coming in to pay your bills.
1,000%.
And the benefits are unbelievable with all of our unions. Mm-hmm. And then, we've got the non-union company option also. They're paying a decent wage out there. It's not like it used to be where you'd go work for a builder or a contractor and you're going to make, $12 an hour. That's not the case anymore. It's hard work. Don't get me wrong. You've got to, it's like any job that's worth having. And I'm sure you can attest to this even in your job today, CJ. Any job worth having, you're going to have to pay your dues, work really hard when you first start out, and learn the business and learn the industry. And then the time comes where you don't have to kill yourself as bad.
Right.
But when you start out, you got to put in the effort and be willing to show up to the job.
Well, you're 100% right. It's just like anything. And what I think so exciting about this career path too is that once you get through that hard part, the literal, windshield is yours. I mean, anything you can see, you can touch. And especially with some of the different certificates and different things that you develop and earn along the way, those carry a long way to find. It could be maybe not the first job is the one you stick with, but because of all the things that you've learned, you can find something that makes you a ton of money and makes your family happy.
And be very satisfying.
Right.
To drive down the street and go, I built that, or I fixed that. I did the plumbing in that building. I put in a handicapped shower for a senior person that couldn't use their shower anymore. There's some real satisfaction in the trades industry. And if you look at what, for example, SWIC has done, SWIC built that brand new manufacturing facility to teach manufacturing, cutting, dyeing, all of that at the SWIC campus in Belleville. They're now in the process of building a new trade center.
Wow.
And so those are good indicators that things are starting to turn back around. And there's programs like the SWIC programs out there. There's programs through the high schools. There's almost any high school in our area, whether they feed into the Collinsville vocational program or they have their own program within their high school, or the Cave in Belleville. Several schools feed into that. And both of those campuses are under expansions right now. Collinsville has got a huge building. They're building across the street from the main campus. And Belleville, the Cave, added another building just for aeronautics this year.
Oh, wow.
So, I think Collinsville up to having 27 different career opportunities through their school, through the vocational program. And Belleville's right up there, in the 20s also. So there are options for students today. You don't have to go the college route. The college route is for somebody. We're not anti-college, but it's not for everybody.
Well, and too, I mean, right now, especially in Alton and just a couple of communities, around us, honestly, the entire Riverbend coverage area, there's so many conversations, Shannon, about not having something to do for kids. And this is where I like this twofold approach, because it's no different than a sport, because it's a journey that you have tangible objectives that you can hold on to. You can see those tasks, those goals in high school. You can touch and feel
your projects.
You aren't just getting this idea of a piece of paper and calling it a day. And that's where I think this is so cool for so many students that need to see it, that need to be involved, and maybe feel left out. This helps them.
Yeah, and something else I'm going to mention to your listeners. There is a bill that went into law that's supposed to go into effect in, I believe it's 2027. And basically in the state of Illinois, they're going to require every student in the state of Illinois to graduate from high school to take 2 years of foreign language. Now, the problem with that bill and that new law that's on the books is there's a few things. One, we don't have the foreign language teachers to accommodate every school. We don't have the funding, but most importantly, it is going to affect the amount of trades classes that can be taken by these kids.
That makes sense.
And we are working with Katie Stewart and Amy Eilick to amend that bill. We're not saying get rid of that requirement, but give kids an option. Let them choose between two years of career focused classes and 2 years of foreign language. Because for the students that are not going to go to college, they don't necessarily have to have that foreign language. So, we encourage people, reach out to your congressmen and your senators within the state and say, amend the foreign language law, foreign language bill for high schools. That's going to go into effect, because it's going to dramatically have an impact in not a good way in so many ways.
Well, and that's one that we haven't talked about really very often, that bill, and not one that's been covered too much. And it could just be because of the, way headlines read, or the way that, the bill reads, and it's good to know.
Exactly. Yeah. So the law, it was passed a year and a half ago or so. We're working to try to get an amendment done to that bill. So I will, after we get off the air, I'll send you the bill number you can share with your listeners online, so they can give that bill number to their congressmen and their senators and say, hey, we want to make sure that this gets amended so that we have the option between trades classes and foreign language.
Really good. And Shannon, thanks for sharing that with us. We'll link that. And, on top of that, is there anything else that you're seeing right now, or anything else that you guys are working at the national level?
At the national level, there's a ton they're working on with the new leadership in Washington, D.C. And it's a little bit quiet right now because it's coming to the end of summer. But there are many things like alternative housing options for people, coding and simplifying the process of regulatory issues. There's a lot that the National Association of Home Builders is working on currently. Locally, it's quiet. Everybody's on summer break, getting ready to gear up to go back for the fall session and the veto session that'll be coming up. But, we're always keeping things in the forefront of what's happening that we need to be aware of. Something else I'll make your listeners aware of, Granite City has recently rolled out an infill program. And some of my builders are working with the city of Granite City. And it's basically revitalizing areas where homes were torn down. And there are some great incentives and opportunities for consumers, especially first-time home buyers, where you don't have to pay taxes except on the value of the property before it was built on.
Wow.
So it's a savings of anywhere from $30,000 to $40,000, and that's for 10 years. So instead of paying, $2,300 to $3,500 in real estate taxes, they may only have a tax bill of $500 for the first 10 years they live in that brand new home. And because there's no land cost associated with these infill projects, you can get into a new home somewhere around $235,000 to $285,000.
Wow.
Instead of paying $350,000 to $400,000. So the City of Granite has the infill program. If anybody has interest in that, you can reach out to the City of Granite City, and they can give you more information about it. Belleville has an infill program. I'm in conversations with Alton right now. We've met twice, and they're looking at potentially bringing an infill program to the Alton area. So there is opportunities out there, and we are pushing hard to give options for those first-time home buyers and people that want to downsize, seniors that want to get out of their bigger home and get into a smaller home. That's starting to come back, where homes aren't going to be built as big as they were the last 10 years.
Well, and it's really good to note because, and especially too, when it pertains to specific communities, because I think a lot of areas are struggling with this is the housing inventory, that they have. And so to be able to utilize an infill program instead of maybe going to a Section 8 housing complex, which quite frankly, there's too many of in this area, it's good to have.
And these are owner occupied. They're not rentals. And that's what we're looking for in communities, is bringing back more owner occupied residents, not rentals. There'll always be a percentage of rentals, and they're not all bad.
Right.
But it brings value to all homeowners in a community when more homes are available. And Granite City has just gone through a huge cleanup of their downtown area. They've done so many streetscapes projects with grant money they've gotten in, and they're really trying to turn things around in Granite City, and there's some great options for people.
There really is. And Shannon, it goes back to another thing. It's investing in yourself. I mean, when you have your own home, it sets you up for life. It really does, if you take care of it the right way, of course. And
correct.
It's really good that there's programs like this, and the more we talk about them, I hope that more that the community officials and leaders take note that there are different options that provide that sense of home ownership and sense of loving where you live because it's your own property.
Correct. And that's what we need, is people investing in their communities by investing in themselves. And that's really what it is. So also one other thing, CJ, I know our time's running long here, but the Wish Home is under construction in Mascoutah, Illinois. We broke ground about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Foundation has been poured. Flat work is being done, and it's getting ready for those walls to go up. And I got to do a shout out. It's in the Brickyards in Mascoutah, Illinois. It is the general contractor for the home is HBD Homes. And then the builder working with HBD Homes is going to be the Hair Corporation. The unions have stepped up immensely to help us with this Wish Home project. IBEW, the electrical union, they're doing all the electrical work on the home. The plumbers union out of Belleville and HVAC are going to be doing the plumbing and HVAC on the house. And then the Mid-America Carpenters Union have one of their companies, the Hair Corporation, that is doing the carpenter's part of the house. And we have so many people making donations to make this house happen. The goal is to have it built by the end of December and finished. Wow. And then the program will launch in January. And the St. Louis Cardinals have partnered with us on this project this year. So we're excited about it. And we're going to be selling raffle tickets for $100 again. We're going to have to sell 13,000 tickets to give that home away, but it's very doable. It's an $800,000 home. It's amazing.
Man, that sounds good. Now, what I think's really cool is last year, you didn't hit the number, but you also, the lady that won, what a perfect story for that. And all the money that you raised for Make-A-Wish.
Yes. So the family that won the grand prize had a daughter with special needs. She was born that way. She's wheelchair bound. She's blind and deaf, has a trach, and her wheelchair had just started not working correctly about 3 weeks before the drawing. And her 16th birthday was a day or two before the drawing. We did the drawing, and they won the almost $70,000 in cash that they won. And the family couldn't have been more excited and thankful because they were able to then replace their daughter's wheelchair. Because she spends her life in that. It's a very important tool for her. So it was amazing.
That's just incredible. And, with you guys knowing about this ahead of time, why wouldn't you take a chance? Now, Shannon, before I let you go on today's topic, just real quick, if folks win, there's also a cash out option on this, correct?
Correct. If we reach the goal of the 13,000 tickets sold and you don't want the home, your name is drawn, you will receive $300,000 cash instead of the home.
I'll take
it. And tickets will be going on sale in November or December. We'll launch it a little early, and then the big launch will be in January. And there's going to be other prizes announced as we get closer.
I just want to know how they get this home done in 4 months. That's incredible.
The HBR members are amazing.
Shannon, it's always great talking to you. And really, when we get to discuss trade and really all the really important nuances of it and the future of it, it's really great. And always thank you for your time.
You're welcome, CJ. You have a great day, and I hope your listeners have a safe day out there.
You too. Stay cool out there for one more day.
Yes.
Bye-bye. See ya. 10:05. We'll take a quick break. More Daily Show on this Tuesday morning comes right around the corner, right around 10:10. We're going to be talking all things Nana's Cafe right after this. You stay there, and I'll be here on Roku and Riverbender.
Discover Del Mar Public House, located in Godfrey's historic Clifton Schoolhouse. Enjoy bold flavors like homemade falafel, fish and chips, and rotating pasta favorites. Relax with local beers, half-price wine bottles, and summer poutine nights. The only thing missing is you. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Del Mar Public House, where great food, drinks, and friends come together. DelMarPublicHouse.com.
When you need a project done right, on budget and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver's serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh-made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
no matter the season. Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville. Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Linux system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox, innovation never felt so good.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
But I ain't got wings coming down is the hardest thing.
Welcome back, Daily Show on this Tuesday morning. In here with Tia Hunter, Rosewood Cafe. You know, I don't know what I was thinking earlier. I just named your business for you, and I'm very sorry for that. Well, Tia, it's really good to have you in the studio. Rosewood Cafe, you're over there, 961 East Airline Drive, correct?
That is correct.
And is that East Alton?
It is East Alton.
Well, and you took over the spot in December, opened up the doors, and now we're in August. We're almost a year in. Are you feeling pretty comfortable right now?
I'm feeling great. We
Good.
are doing fabulous.
Well, and now, what gave you the idea behind Rosewood Cafe? Did you have some experience in the restaurant industry?
Do we even have enough time for this? No. I worked at McDonald's when I was 16 for about 3 months. But I've always just wanted, when I was 17, I walked into Baskin-Robbins down in Granite City. And of course, you know, we're talking like 1978, right? So there was no internet. I walked in there and said, how do I open a Baskin-Robbins?
Oh.
And they gave me the phone number. And I called, and it was $25,000 for a franchise.
Uh-huh.
Well, you know, when you're 17, $25,000 might as well be $1 million.
That's right.
And so that didn't happen. And through the years, I would find a place that I really wanted to go, and then something just wouldn't work out. It didn't have the parking. It just wasn't what I wanted. And then there was supposed to be a coffee shop. This is a building called The Heights, owned by Paul and Glenn Hubbard. And it was, if anybody's from that area, they know it was Dr. Lou's old building. That's how we all know it. And so they bought it, they rehabbed it. It's beautiful. There's a boutique upstairs, the Boner Boutique, and then downstairs, which was Gwen's Travel, is then myself and then the Heights Spa. So they filled the whole building. And Paula's vision was a woman-owned business filled with women-owned businesses.
Well, and honestly, you're doing pretty darn good here. 4.8 stars out of the 29 reviews. And I love this. Your only bad review was you were too live, laugh, love.
Yes.
Damn it, why are you having fun in there?
Our decor was to live, laugh, love.
Why are you making us feel like we're at home?
I don't have any idea. Too homey.
I'm tired of this.
Yeah.
Come on, Tia. No, it's really cool. And, as you're developing, you find the spot. How long does it take to get the menu ready to go? What's that prep work look like?
Not having the experience in this, I relied heavily on, other people telling me what to do, but really it was my own favorite foods. Sometimes I think I'm Italian because I feel like I have to feed everybody. And kids are grown, and I cook massive amounts of food for nobody. But, my recipes that I love that people have, told me over the years that, that's so good. And I didn't want to open a place to serve bacon and eggs. I wanted something with a unique twist. So our avocado toast is like one of our best sellers.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Well, and I think it's so cool to have all these different food items. And just going through your Facebook page is everything. You can always tell if you're into something by the way that your food looks and the way the product is. And it truly is each and every time. Like, look at this. Here we go. Look at some of these.
I know.
Boom! There's your breakfast. And, going through, what is that? That looks very yummy.
That's a little parfait.
Well, it's cool. Everything just looks really cool. And it all looks like, you're putting all your love into it,
So let me tell you a secret, CJ. I hate coffee.
Do you really?
I hate coffee. I do not drink it, but let me tell you, I have some amazing baristas. You don't want me making your coffee. I have no clue. But I have these baristas that get so excited about creating new lattes.
Yeah.
It's weird, but they do. So,
I love it. Well, and now, just looking through now, this looks like a sampler almost. Did you have any of these
what is it?
latte samplers?
Well, that's a flight.
Oh,
we have latte flights, and actually, I think next week our fall latte flight comes out. So this is a classic. I know.
Wow,
I know.
Look at you guys
They're
going
amazing,
over there.
I'm telling you.
What a team. Well, I just think it's so cool, and just going through a few more shots it's look at that. I'll take one. I'll take 15.
That's the bubble waffle sandwich, and that was given to us by a friend of ours that used to get this sandwich at a restaurant that's no longer in business, not even around here, and it's cheese and bacon, cheese and egg and sausage with maple syrup.
I'm in.
Yeah, that's amazing.
You don't have to speak too much more into that, but what is that? Is that quiche?
Those are quiche.
Whew. Yeah. But my point is, it all looks really good,
yeah.
And it's great to see your idea coming together. Now, did you expect it all to kind of formulate as quickly as it did once you hit the go button?
Yes and no.
Okay.
That's always your hope.
Yeah,
and,
right.
That's always your hope, but and it's definitely evolved. There are so many things we did in the beginning that I was like shaking my head. Why did we do that? Because we thought we needed to do it. You know, it's like, oh, you got to do this and this, I heard. And so we've changed a lot since we've opened, but wonderful. I think it's been changed for the better. So
well, it's wonderful, and honestly, I'm glad just to see this coming into fruition. And now, as you sit right now, is everything that you thought of, opening the doors? You didn't have any experience. This is why I think it's so great because it's turning out so.
Yeah.
Are you happy with where you are currently? Did you hit the goals?
I am. I'm very happy. Every small business owner could be busier. No two ways about that. But yeah, we're really excited, and people come in every day that have never been there, and they're excited. They've heard about us. They've drove past us, and so it's fun to see them, to watch them experience it.
Well, and the way you're set up, it's perfect for, a generational thing where you can meet multiple generations of one family and have that. Yeah.
Right. And I'll never be the cafe. You know how sometimes you'll go to a restaurant and they'll quit serving you drinks because, fill up your tea or your water. Because they want you to leave.
Yeah.
I'll never be that cafe. You can sit there for hours and I'll give you tea.
That's good. There's nothing worse than a subtle hint. It's like, just tell me to my face. Just tell me. Yeah.
No, we have people bring their laptops,
That's cool.
suck up our internet and work. And I love it. I love all of it. I want to be that kind of place.
Now, do you, real quick, some of your fall menu did drop today.
Oh, yeah.
And we're talking brown butter toffee, pumpkin pie, and maple pumpkin pancakes.
Those are lattes.
That's all lattes.
Those are all lattes.
Wow. You got some good baristas.
I tell you, the baristas are amazing.
Look at that bad boy. Hold on here. Let me see if I can pull that
up.
Yeah, let's see that. Look at that.
Yeah. Boom. I'm telling you, they're amazing. So, then the soup and the rest of the fall stuff drops next week.
Well, and honestly, this is so cool. And now the soups, you're going to have some bread bowls?
Oh, yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You got to have the bread bowl.
Now, do you do free delivery?
We do free delivery to the local schools.
Makes sense.
Right. So, Roxana, Wood River, and Bethalto, because we're right there in the heart of all three of those. So we did open up yesterday to delivery to the local, teachers.
That's wonderful.
And the support team there. Yeah.
Well, and a good thing to know. So I got to tell you this story. I did not know what toast was. I thought it was just the food. And which is okay. And so we were down in Gulf Shores, and my fiance has a toast app, and we were at Lulu's,
Local
which is
toast,
like, you gotta kind of refinance your house to pay the bill. And, but we're down, and she used her points. Our bill went from like $40 or $50 down to $1.86.
Yes.
It's really a great incentive.
It is. It's the local toast app, and you can get on it. You can order from your phone. You can come swing by and pick it up, and you get reward points, and they build up pretty. I think when you first sign up, you get like $5 worth of points or something. It's crazy.
It really is such a good thing, and it's a great thing for you guys to be. I think it's smart.
It is smart. You can order from the app, come swing by, and we'll have it ready for you to pick up.
Well, I love this idea with the school districts, too, because, teachers, when you only have 30 minutes and you're just hoping to dear God that McDonald's line ain't long,
Yep.
I
know.
It's really great. So for school districts, we're talking Roxana, Bethalda, East Alton, and Woods River, you're going to give free delivery to those teachers.
Absolutely.
And now, is there a way, you had it on your post, did you guys do like a mailing list or a subscription? Is that...
We did. We got email addresses from teachers that were interested, support staff that was interested.
Okay.
And so we've been emailing them to let them know. And of course we, tell them, please share it with, anyone in your district. So, I would love to branch out to Alton, Godfrey, but, I've only got so many drivers and, but we'll get there.
It takes time to get across the Riverbend anyway.
We gotta figure out our area schools before we can branch out.
Well, and honestly, it's really good to note that. So if you do have the Toast app, realize that it's right now the delivery option's just for teachers, so you might get a phone call if you
No.
Oh.
The Toast app is for everybody except on Mondays.
Except for Mondays.
Yeah, Mondays from 11 to 1, we only accept the teacher delivery.
Good to know.
Yeah.
That's really good to note. And now, what are your hours throughout the week?
Tuesday through Friday, we're open 6:30 a.m. to 2 o'clock p.m. And then Friday nights and Saturday nights, we're open 5:30 to 8:30. We have a different menu. We serve pizzas. I'm sure you saw those in there.
I did.
And
they aren't just pizzas. Look at this here. Just because I'm kind of getting hungry.
Them. They're great.
Look at that.
Yeah, we
make
there. Those. And then we have loaded tots on Friday and Saturday nights.
Nice.
And we're going to have soup flights. Soup flights.
You really like soup?
Yes. on Friday and Saturday nights.
I love it.
Saturdays we're open 8 to 2, and Sundays we're open 8 to noon.
Really good to note. And you guys can go to Rosewood Cafe on Facebook. That's I just love the review, though. I mean, you're telling me that, listen, if live, laugh, love is what gets you going. Like, I wish I had the life.
Love it.
I wish.
Yeah.
I wish I had the life. Also, I got to ask you, because this just looks too damn good to be quite honest with you.
What is that?
Here we go.
Oh, that's one of our Friday.
That's
a Friday and Saturday night sandwich. That is our. It's either the buffalo. That looks like a chicken parmesan sandwich.
Yeah.
And then it's covered in butter, garlic goodness.
Sounds good to me. Hey, you got a moment to take a quick break with me? Yeah. I got to pay a bill. It's 10:23. A little bit of change. Word from our sponsors. We'll come back with Tija. Learn more about Rosewood Cafe next.
Oh no, another bad headache?
Yeah.
Maybe it's time to see your doctor.
OSF Healthcare can handle all of your family's primary care needs, including diagnosing health issues or referring you to a specialist. Schedule an appointment today.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Munganast Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and it will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Munganast Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Munganast Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
With over over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Welcome back. 10:25, back with Tia, Hunter, Rosewood Cafe, open today at 11. Correct?
No, we opened at 6:30. We've been
What am
there
I
all
thinking
day.
about? I was thinking about your delivery
what are you
on
smoking
Monday.
over there? What do you got over there?
Ah, man, I wish. I would have been a lot
Should have
quicker.
brought you a coffee to wake you up.
It would have been a lot faster show. With that being said, Rosewood Cafe, it's great to talk with you. Really, and we love promoting, especially new businesses, and to see that you're not even a year in and off to such great success is awesome. And you guys, from pizzas to loaded tots, here's the loaded I finally found them. Look at this goodness right here.
They're
This
amazing.
is goodness on a plate. Look at that.
And they're nice and crispy.
Oh, see, now that's good, because there's nothing I hate worse than a loaded
Soggy
tot that's
tot.
oh
You
my
can't do
God.
soggy tots.
It ruins it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
No,
I
they're
honestly,
good.
I never say much, but if it's a
Yeah.
soggy tot or a French fry, it's on site.
Oh, and did you notice the homemade toasted ravioli?
I did not, but let me go ahead.
That is in there somewhere.
I will find it, because I have just been falling in love with your Facebook page. And now, what's the next step? Do you see yourself evolving from here or adding to?
You know, I don't know. Sometimes when small places get too big, they lose their charm. And I
100%.
don't want to do that. I did obtain our liquor license through the Bethalto Village. We're Zone Bethalto, so I do have our liquor license through there. I'm going through the process of getting approved now through the state of Illinois. So I imagine we're going to have some, Wine Wednesdays, and we'll have a special menu on Wednesdays with, I envision like ladies' night out, coming to have wine flights and things like that. So yeah, we'll have some other things. Oh, and can I tell you about the Granny Panty tournament we're having?
Wait, hold on here. I'm in, like 100% in, but I just wanted, you asked about the toasted ravioli.
You want to see it? Yeah.
I found the toasted ravioli.
Yeah, we make those.
Looks by hand?
Like by hand. We do that.
Oh,
we,
so-
we don't open a box and throw them in. We make them by
So
hand.
it wasn't made fresh then frozen and sent over to
No. We make them. We close at 2 on Fridays, and we start working to get those ready for the evening.
I was going to ask you how long your prep time is for,
Yeah.
especially with some of your menu items, because it takes a while.
It does take a while. So we usually try to prep, the day before to get everything ready. I mean, everything is made. Don't come in our cafe if you're like, you got 2 minutes. We're not McDonald's.
Yeah, this ain't an
Everything is
Applebee's.
made when you order it. So, yeah. So,
Well, no, we have a couple of minutes left. Fill me in on this Granny Panty.
oh my gosh, so much fun. So picture like a hula hoop with material on it in the shape of pants.
Okay.
And then like your partner, your teammate is going to be throwing, I don't know if they're beanbags, I hope not, or balls. And with your granny panties, you've got to catch the ball, right? So we're having teams of 4 this October. I don't have the date yet, but
Send it to me.
Like
We'll put it
I
up.
will. Like the Facebook page, and you can come by the cafe and sign your team up, and it is going to be it'll be on a Saturday. It's going to be such a fun day.
Well, Tia, it was wonderful meeting you. Best of luck.
you.
Real quick, let's go through the hours again. They're open today, and they don't open at 11. I just want to throw that out there. I don't know what I was doing here. You can stop by at 6:30 a.m. until 2 p.m. Tuesday through Friday, Saturday 8 to 2, and 5:30 to 8:30 for the dinner service.
Yes.
With a break in between. Sunday 8 to noon, and that's going to be it. You can call 618-301-7306. That's 618-301-7306 to find out more information, or you can just go to the Facebook page, rosewoodcafe.com, 961 East Airline Drive in East Alton.
That's it. Or come on by.
And
We'd
just
love to
see them.
you.
Yeah. Tia, thanks so much for your time.
Thanks for having me.
We'll take a quick break. Lynn Venhaus is a Rotten Tomatometer Critic, and really excited to talk about the summer movies that just took place. I'm kind of pissed because I wanted to see Naked Gun. I'm a big Naked Gun fan, and
my
I
son
missed
saw
it.
it.
Was it good? What did he say? It was okay?
Yeah, he said it was good. Yeah.
Dang it! I was hoping it was bad, so I didn't miss out. But she's gonna fill us in on movies. Plus, we're gonna preview the fall movie lineup. So you stay there, and I'll be here in the studio.
Oh no, another bad headache?
Yeah.
Maybe it's time to see your doctor.
OSF Healthcare can handle all of your family's primary care needs, including diagnosing health issues or referring you to a specialist. Schedule an appointment today.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop at their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Munganast Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Munganast Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Munganast Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Why do you drink? Hey, why do you roll smoke? Why must you live out the songs that you wrote?
Welcome back, 1031. You know, I was just telling Tia before she left the studio, the one biggest regret I have of the summer, Lynn Venhaus, is the fact that I don't know, yours truly happened to not see Naked Gun in the movie theater.
Yes, because it was so fun to see it with a crowd, to just laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh. It was just really fun. But did you get to see it finally?
I didn't.
I mean, or you got it on your list?
It's on my list, and I'm going to see it. It bummed me out because I knew Liam Neeson would just be perfect for this role. I just, after the Million Ways to Die in the West with Seth MacFarlane, I'm like, this is it. This is it for him.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you've ever seen him in a talk show interview, he's really charming and funny. And so I'm glad because, you know, we see enough of enough of Liam, having a special set of skills.
Well, and I got to ask you real quick, is this thing with Pamela Anderson, was that a work or is that a real life budding relationship?
That is a real life budding relationship. And I for one am very happy for them because Liam, why am I screwing up his name today? Liam, as you know, lost the love of his life, Natasha Richardson, from a fall during a ski trip. And that was very traumatic. And so he spent the rest of this was like in late 90s, I want to say. Anyway, he devoted his life to raising their two boys. And now the boys are grown, and now he can have a romance.
That's really cool.
Yeah. And so I think that's really cool. And then, of course, she's in a really good place. So they both have, at the premiere, they both had each of their two sons. She has two by Tommy Lee and Liam. So they were all with their kids. And I think that's just charming. And if you've seen The Last Showgirl, which is on streaming, I'm not sure which streaming service, but Google it and you'll find out The Last Showgirl. She really shows what a good actress she is. Because, you know, Baywatch, I mean, everybody loved Baywatch, but for different reasons.
Well, and now, Lynn, with that being said, let's review, if you would, the summer movies that came out. Were there some good ones this summer?
There were a few, and I would say top of my list is Superman. Did
Really?
you get to see that in the big theater?
You know,
you have to see.
Here's the thing, Lynn. It's been so busy for me because we got engaged and then getting everything kind of together and going. I've been out of the loop, so that's why I really wanted you on, because I'm kind of under a rock.
Yeah, well, I understand that. Life gets really busy, and congratulations.
Oh,
Your
thank
bride
you.
is lovely. Your future bride. You guys look so happy. So I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
Superman is directed by James Gunn from St. Louis. And I love this kinder Superman. You know, it's gotten a lot of knocks as, the woke Superman, but I don't see it. What's wrong with kindness?
Right.
You know, what's wrong? So this David Cornsweet, and I'm going out on a limb here, but I think he's the best Superman since Christopher Reeve. And nobody can top Christopher Reeve.
Wow, that's actually pretty special.
Yeah. And I've gone back this summer and watched Superman Returns and Man of Steel, and I watched Superman 2, and this one is so good. I don't really care about what I call flying chunks of concrete. I could care less about all the visual razzle dazzle and everything. I like the heart of the story, and it's a good one. There's a very wonderfully emotional scene with his parents, and they've aged Martha and Jonathan Kent. They've aged them, and they live on a farm in Kansas, and he takes Lois, and Lois is played by the wonderful Rachel Brosnahan, who was Mrs. Maisel.
Oh, wow.
Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and she's great as Lois. And I love the whole premise that this is a different world. Lex Luthor is this tech billionaire, and he's ruthless, and he's got to stop. But the world is used to Superman and what they call meta-humans. They are used to superheroes in the world. But the best addition is the dog, Crypto. If you're a dog person, you are going to love this dog. He is so hilarious because he's not trained very well and he acts up.
Do you remember the DC Super Pets movie that came out a couple of years ago? Every time I hear Crypto, I just think that was a great movie too.
That was. You know, it's just, but I'm glad that DC is back because Superman and Batman have always been my favorite superheroes. And so I'm glad to see them kind of, you know, take it on to a next generation.
This is so cool. Now, did they do was it a live action animal that was playing Crypto, or how did they
they CGI'd him.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Because he does have superpowers.
Okay, gotcha. I love it. That's so cool.
Yeah, and so it's really, it's just, I just thought it was a lot of fun. It was just a perfect summer blockbuster. And speaking of another perfect summer blockbuster, F1, Formula One, the movie, it is back in IMAX right now, started Friday. That is a big screen movie with all the Formula One racing, and Brad Pitt, magnetic as usual. And people are always surprised when I tell them that he's a Missouri native.
Is he really?
Go, what?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
He's from Springfield, Missouri. And so he grew up there. And he didn't graduate from Mizzou, but he headed to Hollywood with like $300 in his pocket. And he was like 6 hours short of an advertising degree. And he took up. But fun fact, he was on the Men of Mizzou calendar.
That's awesome, actually. Now, that would be a keepsake if someone still has one of those.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think so. And so I just think that's fun when people, Brad Pitt's from Missouri? Well, yes. And he's from basically the Ozarks of Missouri. So, yeah. So anyway.
Can I ask you real quick, when on this movie, is there a lot of story with the F1 movie, or is it a lot more of the action kind of, you're seeing a lot of fast moving cuts and more of that kind of dynamic?
Yeah, it's the Need for Speed.
Gotcha.
Sure.
That's what I was going to ask.
It's very high paced, and the story is really nothing. It's just like, fast cars, drama. There's drama on the racetrack. There's the young hotshot driver, and then there's the old grizzled veteran trying to prove something in Brad Pitt.
It almost sounds like Talladega Nights.
I know.
No, I'm just kidding. But I'm
little
gonna
baby. Yeah, he loves little baby Jesus.
I gotta check this out because I saw the previews for it and I thought that's a movie because I love the fast-paced dynamic. Now, is it one where if you aren't into F1 or into that type of sport, you can still watch?
Yeah, I think
cool.
so. I think so. I think they make it pretty easy to understand. Now, if you watch it, you're going to have much more interest in it.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, that's interesting. Now, what would you grade it overall?
I think I gave it a B.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I gave Superman an A. And I loved A Naked Gun. It just was fun. And sometimes we need that. You need to be silly, especially in this world. I think we need to be a little sillier. Sometimes.
I just had a conversation about that. I mean, I'm not saying you need to go back to the old style like comedy and humor with some of the movies, but like the Naked Gun and Airplane movies would be perfect for right now. Where we, like you said, you're in a movie theater and everyone's laughing together, forgetting about what just happened on the news or what happened at home, and that's what a movie's for.
Right. Well, one of the big things I'm looking forward to in the fall is the Spinal Tap sequel.
I am too. Okay.
Yeah. Because that's just going to be so fun because they are, 1984, this is Spinal Tap, one of my favorite comedies of all time. Derek Smalls, Nigel Tufnell, and Michael St. Hubbins. And you can quote that movie and everybody he has, the sound up to 11.
Yep.
And so this is what's so funny. Everybody's back for this one and it comes out September 12th.
Wow.
Everybody is back. So Michael McKean, Christopher Guest, Harry Shearer, and Rob Reiner, who directed again. He plays the mockumentary director, Marty DeBurgi. And then Paul Schaefer and Fran Drescher are a return. And then there's going to be some cameos from music guys, supposedly Paul McCartney, and I know Elton John for sure.
Wow.
And Lars Ulrich of Metallica.
I love that.
I know. So it just looks funny because they get together, they bring the band back together after 15 years for a final concert.
This is cool.
I know. And so if you don't need to see the first one, just know it's just but if you did see it, I think everybody is waiting for it.
I am too. Well, and getting back, and do you know what the release date is on the Spinal Tap sequel on top of your head?
September 12th.
Really cool. And is that going to be available on streaming and in the theaters or just theaters?
Just theaters right now. The streaming comes not too far after they. Yeah. For instance, Superman on Friday. Superman was released video on demand, but it's the high cost one. It's the 1991 premium rental, so it'll go down, and then it's going to be on DVD September 23rd. But I am sure because it's Warner Brothers that HBO Max will have it.
Oh, 100%.
So, yeah.
Speaking of it, I don't know if you had a chance. Have you seen the show where they're back in the 1890s and trying to live off the settlement on HBO yet? If you get a chance, check that. It's an interesting one where they have 3 families and they have to go back and live like the pioneers and try to make it through. And it's really cool. I just brought up HBO Max and I'm like, that's one that I think Lynn would be interested in.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what's it called?
I don't know. I just watch it. I'll send you whenever I go back home and I look up when I'm on HBO. I'll send you the name of it. But it was perfect, and it's a great show. But also, you know what surprised me? The fastest movie I've ever watched happened this summer. That was Happy Gilmore 2. I feel like I closed my eyes and I opened them, and we're at the end of the movie.
Yep. And speaking of Adam Sandler, you're going to love this concept. He's in a movie with George Clooney called Jay Kelly. Now it's being produced by Netflix, so it's going to open in theaters for like a week, but then it'll be on Netflix. And let me get that date for you. That is, it's called Jay Kelly, his name, and it is November 14th. And it's Clooney as a movie star. That's a big stretch. And he's he's in Europe, and his assistant is Adam Sandler.
That's going to be fun. You know, Lynn, what did you think about Happy Gilmore 2? Were you a fan of it? Because it was one of those for me where it hit all the points. Like, I thought, okay, this was really fun, but it wasn't that good of a story, I don't think, for the movie. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong with it. Maybe I kind of judged it too hard, but it just felt like, okay, we're getting the best of Happy Gilmore in this new movie in an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah, I think Adam Sandler knows his wheelhouse.
Yeah.
And he knows his fans. And the fact that they brought everybody back because Christopher McDonald's, Scooter?
Yep.
Yeah. And, you know, it's everybody that was in the first one. That's always a good sign when they get everybody back together. And they looked like they were just having fun.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think there was much script that they had to follow. And the boys, to me, that the boys are grown is really funny. My children were of an age where they had all the VHSs of Adam Sandler movies on like all the time. So Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison, The Waterboy, et cetera, were always on. And so they're just in my head. I don't think I had to go to a theater and watch them, you know. But I am always surprised at how good Adam Sandler is as a dramatic actor. And
you're right.
There's a really good movie called Hustle.
Yeah, that was
on
great.
Netflix. And he's so good as this basketball scout. Yeah. And I just think he's fascinating. And then to me, if you watch the 50th anniversary of SNL, when he did the Chris Farley tribute, he still gets choked up, and it just goes right through you, you know?
He's actually going to be in St. Louis playing in October.
Yes, he is. That is correct.
Do you want to? I got to tell you this fun story real quick before we talk about more movies. We were trying to find, just bigger name interviews to do, and we're going to have Buzz from A Christmas Story on in a couple, which is some fun ones, why not? And I said, why not reach out to a ton of people? So I got 2 responses, one from Joe Pesci's manager and one from Adam Sandler's person that he was on tour and I wanted to bring him in, but 2 of the nicest teams ever. And it was just kind of nice that everything that they say about Adam Sandler kind of is the same with his team too.
Yeah.
It's kind of
neat. He's big Family Guy.
Yeah.
And if you watch when he got the comedy award, what was that? The Mark Twain.
Oh, yeah.
Award?
He was really grateful and I love that their family's always in the movies now, and his daughters are kind of trying out with them, and it's really cool to see. And Lynn, with that being said, what are some of the other movies you had a chance to catch up with this summer, and what were your thoughts on them?
Well, I don't think, they're going for the high concept always in the summer. And we've got the Jurassic Park reboot, the Jurassic World Rebirth. And I didn't mind it because the last one, the Dominion one, was so bad because Jeff Goldblum, Sam Neill, and Laura Dern were back. And it just went off the court. It was like dinosaurs living in your backyard.
Yeah, come on.
Oh, that's a good idea. And then they got really far with that tech guy and locusts and all these plagues, and it was just crazy. But this one kind of goes back because, first of all, my thing about all the sequels and the reboots, why would you ever go back?
Right. Right. Thank you. That's why I can't get a hold of these either. I'm like, why are we dealing with the dinosaurs still? Like, if we're actually in the world, what says I'm going to go back to that tomorrow?
Yeah, why would you do this? But it is kind of plausible, and I do like Jonathan Bailey, who's going to have another big, huge hit again when The Wicked Part 2 comes out for good, November 21st.
Wow.
So but Jonathan Bailey, his star is rising, and so he and Scarlett Johansson are back to, they got to get dinosaur DNA so Big Pharma can make a heart disease pill that's going to be groundbreaking. So Big Pharma's the villain. Remember, like for a while we had Russian mafia as the villain, and then the tech billionaires as the villains. The tech billionaires are really a good villain these days, and then we have Big Pharma as the villain.
Well, and honestly, it's just kind of fascinating to see how the movies kind of change the perspective on the protagonist and the antagonist and how it connects back in. And I'm going to be fascinated about that. Really, that's really interesting.
Well, it's a cautionary tale about don't fool Mother Nature.
Yeah.
And, that's the whole thing, But the first Jurassic Park, I mean, nothing can top
Right. And see, that's where I'm at with the reboots because, or the sequels and everything, because it's like, you can't go from that one. And then I got dinosaurs walking around at Starbucks. You know what I'm saying? Or backyards. I really thought the first one, even the second one was pretty cool, but I love the first one. You can't beat it.
Oh no, and it's still terrifying. It's still scary, and to see that. Well, Jaws turned 50, speaking of Spielberg. Yeah. So there's a lot of that. And I watched it again. And that is terrifying. And Spielberg's editing was so great because they were having trouble with the mechanical shark. So you don't see the shark very often, but that music, there's a really good documentary on Disney Plus, National Geographic, Jaws at 50, with really good interviews about the making of that. And just to see that again, it still is so tense.
Yeah. Well, it's like you said, I watched the documentary and it makes you respect Spielberg as a director even more because how you still create a scary creature when you have a half broke down robot that doesn't move and you have to change your whole movie shoot basically. It's pretty impressive to see that turnaround.
Oh yeah, and then John Williams' score. That's in the top 10 of all time. And there's a documentary on John Williams that's on Disney Plus, the music of John Williams, and it is fantastic. And when you get to the Star Wars theme, it is the most perfect moment because you're wondering, you're watching this movie and you're like, when are they going to get to Star Wars? And then the first time you see it, he is conducting the London Symphony and he raises the baton in the recording room and you hear that big booming symphonic score and it just gives you chills.
It's awesome.
Because it's so good. So if you are a fan of movie music, I would say that's good. Summer's kind of forgettable.
Yeah.
Like, Freakier Friday was fun. All these movies are basically fun.
That's what I was going to ask you. Yeah. Now with Freakier Friday, was that one that you would recommend? Do you need to watch the first one to kind of know, or do you get the gist of it pretty quick?
No, because I didn't have girls, so I didn't really watch, the first one. So I caught on right away.
That's cool. Well, and see, I think, because I was looking at some of the movies that were coming out, and the one I really wanted to see besides Naked Gun was Alton Nights, and I'm finally going to get a chance, I think, this weekend to watch, because it's a De Niro movie, and I know it came out in the wintertime, or spring, and I thought, well, that'll be a good piece to kind of get into, but all the other ones were kind of just ones that looked really interesting when I had the time, not really ones that drew me to the box office. How were the numbers this summer? Were they hanging in there?
I think the big ones, especially because, we're driven kind of by the first weekend of box office, which I always think is weird because, that's what they want to do. But we're still not seeing the production that we had a couple years ago because of the pandemic and because of the strikes.
I remember you saying that actually on Ray's show years ago, because we had that one summer where it just felt like it was like Top Gun was out and all these huge, maybe it was the summer before Top Gun, but it was one summer was just blockbuster was huge productions. And then you even warned and said, hey, with these strikes, and then you had the pandemic and everything else, it's going to take some time to get back into a regular schedule.
Right, because even Tom Cruise's Mission Impossible sequel, which I really liked, that kind of bombed.
Did it?
Because it cost so much money to make, but the stunts in that are unbelievable.
That guy's just something.
Next level. He just pushes himself. But I liked it because it wrapped up all the characters, because you could, Ving Rhames and Simon Pegg and that whole secret crew. Mm-hmm. And that's what I always look for, the emotion, because to me, a movie you have to invest emotionally.
Yeah, I agree.
And and if they're awful people, why are you watching it?
Right. I agree.
And I mean, I know now it's really popular to have all these villains that you just can't stand, especially TV, like Succession.
Mm-hmm.
Because the first couple of times you watch it, you're like, oh, these people are so awful. But then you get into that groove of how awful they are and how they turn on each other, and it's fascinating. But like the John Hamm's show on Apple, Your Friends and Neighbors, he's very good in it, but all these people are terrible.
Yeah, right. Well, and see, I've noticed that where there's a lot of, they try to find the anti-hero in a lot of these, like who pick the lesser of the evils that are on your screen right now. Yeah,
you're not as bad as the other ones.
Can I ask you about an Apple show real quick? The morning show, is that still going on?
It's coming out in September. I think mid-September.
That's a great show.
4. Yeah, it is. And Billy Crudup's really good. And then, of course, Reese Witherspoon and Jennifer Aniston. I forget. Oh, John Hamm's going to be in it again. If you are a TV watcher, just real quick, and I'm not sure when it's premiering, but Shrinking. I love that with Harrison Ford and Jason Segel. Jeff Daniels is coming on as Jason Segel's dad.
That's cool.
Yeah. And Candace Bergen is coming on too. I'm not sure what she's playing, but that'll be great. And I like when you hear these, that this is coming. Ted Lasso is coming out probably middle of next year with season 4. People clamored for it, and it's shot in Kansas City, quite a bit of it, because Jason Sudeikis, he's from Kansas City, and Ted Lasso's from Kansas City, and he went back home so he could have more time with his son. So the crew shows up in Kansas City to convince him to come back.
That's going to be really cool. Hey, how did Wednesday do on their new season on Netflix?
Huge, huge, even bigger than the first one.
No kidding.
Yeah,
wow.
And Steve Buscemi's in it.
He's great.
I really like him. So, there's a lot in streaming, and some of these movies will be coming up. Like if Netflix or Amazon produced it, that will be coming. Like real quick before we, there's the Leonardo DiCaprio movie. So, fall, we pull out the big guns. We pull out the big stars. The prestige, it's the Oscar bait kind of thing, the awards, and so we have one battle after another. It's Leonardo DiCaprio, Benicio del Toro, and a cast of tons of people. They play, it's from a Thomas Pynchon novel called Vineland, and it's aging radicals. They confront the failure of the system, whatever that means.
Wow.
And then you being and that's September 26th, you being a wrestling aficionado, the Smashing Machine comes out October 3rd. It's The Rock as playing a real life character, the UFC fighter Mark Kerr.
Yeah.
And he's supposed to be getting Oscar talk.
Wow.
He is the highest paid actor in Hollywood, The Rock. I mean, Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah.
You call him Dwayne Johnson. And Emily Blunt, he reteams with her, and they were in Jungle Cruise together. So that's really interesting. Julia Roberts is back in a movie called After the Hunt, and it's very mysterious. She plays a college professor. Her favorite student is Ayo Edebiri from The Beast. The Bear.
Oh, The Bear. Yep.
Yeah, The Bear. I love that show so much, and you would think I would. And she's her student, and her close friend Andrew Garfield is accused of sexual assault.
Oh,
and it comes out October 10th. So that's very dramatic, and it'll look like craziness. And then apparently one of the best performances of the fall is Rose Byrne. And it's a movie called If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. And she plays a therapist, and it's like the worst week of her entire life. But I read a preview, and it said, it's like, I need help, but don't help me.
Gotcha. Okay.
So yeah, that's interesting. And then there's one called Roof Man with Channing Tatum, and it's a crime comedy because people love the crime comedies now.
Yeah, they do.
And it's a true story about a serial robber who mostly burglarized McDonald's.
Wow.
He would enter from the roof. That's, I guess, why they call it Roof Man. And then it's also got Kirsten Dunst and Peter Dinklage. And then this to me sounds hilarious. Good Fortune. Seth Rogen plays a rich guy, and Keanu Reeves plays a guardian angel.
Oh, wow. That's going to be really cool.
Talk about a high concept, and then I'm really looking, speaking of the bear, Jeremy Allen White as Bruce Springsteen.
That's going to be awesome.
I cannot wait, because did you like the Bob Dylan movie, A Complete Unknown?
Oh, yeah. I thought that was great.
Oh, so good. And if he can be, if this movie is anything like that, but it is a great cast. It comes out October 24th, and I cannot wait. And then what else is there? Frankenstein, a reboot of Frankenstein. Now get this cast. It's directed by Guillermo del Toro, and it stars Oscar Isaac as Dr. Frankenstein, and then Jacob Elordi. He's the hot young actor that's like brooding. He's in Euphoria. He was in a bunch of really high profile movies, and that should be interesting. And then Glenn Powell. Everybody loves Glenn Powell from Top Gun, and what else was he was in like everything, wasn't he? For a while?
Oh, he was in every movie. Yeah,
like Pedro Pascal is now. It's called The Running Man, and it's a remake of that Stephen King movie about the future, where he's on a game show and it's fatalistic, like he has to survive. Everybody's trying to kill him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that is November 7th. And then this is a combo. Jennifer Lawrence is back, because she does very few films now, and she's married to Robert Pattinson, and they have a baby, and she is dealing with horrible postpartum depression.
Oh,
that does not sound like it's going to be light and fun.
No,
at all. But that's high prestige. So basically, we've got, I think, the two big ones. Besides Wicked, Knives Out.
Is
coming out again. Number 3, December 12th. It's called Wake Up Dead Man. A Knives Out mystery, and it's got Glenn Close, Josh Brolin, Kerry Washington, Mila Kunis, Jeremy Renner, Andrew Scott. So it's got an all-star cast, and I love those Knives Out ones.
Oh, yeah.
They're fun.
They are.
Then probably the big prestige, there's one called Nuremberg, where Rami Malek plays a psychiatrist that is there to investigate Nazis, and Michael Shannon and Russell Crowe are in it. So that sounds really interesting. And then another big one, I think, is called Hamnet, where it deals with, it's from the wife's point of view, Agnes Shakespeare, and she's played by Jessie Buckley, who's a really great actress. And it's based on William Shakespeare, who's played by Paul Mescal. He's another hot young actor, Irish, really talented. He plays William Shakespeare, and she plays his wife, and they deal with the death of their son, Hamnet.
Oh, wow.
And that's what it's called. But I think he was like 11 when he died. So, and then until Timothée Chalamet is coming back in one called Marty Supreme. And get this, talk about high concept. He plays a table tennis player.
There you go. I haven't seen very many table tennis playing movies before.
No, not since Forrest Gump.
That's
right. Right. you know, and then Wicked for Good. If you saw the first one, this is the second act of the musical. I'm surprised at how many people haven't seen the musical, so they don't know what's happening. So I cannot give any spoilers away. But this, you know, when the first one ended in November and people were like, "That's it," I'm like, "Wait for Act 2."
Right. Well, and now when does that come out?
November 21st, and that'll just be huge. And it's
yeah.
Ariana Grande and it's Cynthia Erivo, Jonathan Bailey, and Jeff Goldblum takes on a more sinister Wizard of Oz. And then we have Avatar. I don't know where you stand on the Avatar, but I thought the last one was like watching paint dry.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, The Way of Water.
Oh yeah, no.
And so that comes out December 19th. It's called Fire and Ash. And if it's 3.5 hours like the last one, please help us.
Oh yeah, no. Like I honestly, Lynn, that was one movie that I had to turn off. I couldn't even finish it. I thought I'll just Cliff Notes this one and call it a day.
And you just didn't care.
No.
And then it went from Way of Water, and then we're dealing with sharks.
Yeah, it didn't make sense. I'm just not really like it. The first one I thought was groundbreaking for what it did.
Oh, yeah.
But
beautiful.
Yeah, now it's
beautiful.
Let's just retire that one and call it a day.
I know. So they're at war with other species, other tribes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Enough of that. Yeah,
I just would like to, you just want good stories,
right?
Don't you?
Yeah.
That's what you want. I don't care about all the flying chunks of concrete. I don't care. I want to see a good story with good performances, and I like to be surprised.
Exactly.
I like to be pleasantly surprised because, well, who doesn't like to, like go in like, what is this about? 2 movies real quick that are on streaming that I think you will love. The Penguin Lessons. It's on Netflix. It is based on a true story, and it is charming and so sweet. It is the cynical teacher that goes to South America to teach. He's played by Steve Coogan, and if you follow this guy's career, he's always playing the cynical guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes to teach at a all-boys boarding school while they are having a coup.
Wow.
And so it's a lot of political drama, and he's smack dab in the middle, and he rescues a penguin from the beach that was caught in an oil slick, and the penguin imprints on him and won't let him alone and keeps following him. So he takes it back to his room at the boarding school and hides it in the bathtub.
I actually think that'll be cute. That'll be a good movie.
Yeah, and the penguin, finally, when the school finds out, he incorporates the penguin in lessons with the boys. And it's like the penguin becomes like this human philosopher. Like all these people pour their hearts out to this penguin, and the penguin's just flapping and, just walking around. And so the boys become really attached to it. And it just becomes, so the Penguin Lessons, the guy that this really happened to wrote a memoir.
Wow. That's going to be a fun movie.
Yeah. So it's currently on Netflix. And if you are like me, you like music and you like good acting and you like very quirky UK comedies, The Ballad of Wallace Island, currently on Peacock.
Mm-hmm.
It is Carey Mulligan, and it is this guy won the lottery, and he purchased an island, a remote island, and he lives there, and his wife died, and he gets basically this couple back together that were musicians, but they were romantically linked, but they broke up, and he wants them to give him a concert. So they come to this island thinking that they're going to perform for more than him.
I love it. And what was that called?
I know, and it's called The Ballad of Wallace Island.
Okay.
And it is on Peacock, and it's just really quirky and really fun. And I like what it said about human nature and how people change, like your vision of getting back together with these people is not really what's in your imagination is different than reality.
Absolutely. And Lynn, we have about a minute left, and really, is there anything else to touch on?
I think we're about ready to go into a super busy fall. So stay tuned, and my team at PopLife STL will be bringing you all the action that we can, because it's going to be heating up. I'm not sure if what people are looking for. I don't know what you're looking for, but I think people want to be entertained, number one. They want to laugh, or they want to be moved.
Right, Lynn. And we'll link everything to PopLife STL because we're running out of time. Lynn, thank you so much for everything.
Well, thank you. Always fun, and good luck with your planning the wedding.
Thank you. We're out of time today. We'll see you back here on Wednesday live at 9. Until then, try your best to stay out of jail.